Hi, my name is Seth Nelson, and I'm just going to jump straight into my speech on breakfast. So, how many times have you rushed out the door in the morning for school? Maybe you're late, but you missed breakfast because you're in a rush. Or maybe you have a friend that's always falling asleep in class because, he doesn't eat breakfast. Well, while being in a rush is very understandable, breakfast is worth squeezing into your schedule. With breakfast back in your routine, you will see an overall improvement in your health, mentally and physically. Better Health Channel says breakfast is often called one of the most important meals of the day, and for good reason. By the end of this speech, you will all know why you need breakfast, what a breakfast does, and what a decent breakfast looks like. Let's get into it. When you wake up, you may not have eaten for up to 12 hours. This is actually where the name breakfast came from. You're breaking your fast. Bird Bread Benner of Better Health states breakfast replenishes the stores of energy and nutrients in your body that has been used from the past day. Bird goes on to say that there are many essential vitamins, minerals, and nutrients in breakfast foods that often include folate, calcium, iron B, vitamins, and fiber, which all help you function well throughout the day. Cambridge University did a study on 836 kids between the ages 13 and 15, which supports the concept that breakfast quality is a significant component in the complex interaction between lifestyle factors and mental health in adolescence. They found that a higher quality breakfast consisting of foods from all 5 food groups that contain multiple vitamins were significantly related to better health scores in young adults. Carly Smith of Stanford Health Nutrition says eating breakfast early in the morning is one signal that influences the genetic pathways underlying the circadian oscillations in the gut, which are critical for producing daily energy levels and jump-starting metabolism functions. This means skipping breakfast could weaken the signaling of these clock genes and could be one reason why some people that fast until noon experience higher hunger levels throughout the day. According to Jing Zhang and Jinglen Tan at BMC Psychiatry, effects of no breakfast include lower physical activity levels and can cause neuropsychiatric disorders. This study shows dietary data from 211,036 participants that was collected using the Oxford WebQ, a web-based 24-hour diet recall tool. The analysis revealed that skipping breakfast is associated with an increased risk of ADHD, MDD, cognitive performance issues, and frailty. BMC Public Health developed a study done on 4 types of eaters: conventional and early breakfast, known as the guideline patterns, while later breakfast and grazing weren't so recommended. The study showed that early breakfast and conventional breakfast reduced risk of gallstones. These gallstones are basically built up of biles that occur in the gallstones, which can cause blockages and inflammation, heavily impacting the pancreas. The later breakfast and grazing methods actually increase risks of gallstones compared to the guideline patterns. Okay, so maybe you think you're just not hungry in the mornings. This is most likely from eating food later in the night. Thurrott with Banner Health says eating later causes the food to be stored mostly as fat since the metabolism slows at night. This means you're not processing the food and hardly getting any nutrients from it. So instead of a large dinner late at night, try to cut back on dinner and eat it 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed. This should allow breakfast to be more appealing to your body in the mornings. Now, if you're scared of gaining weight, I get it. That's completely understandable. However, the Barcelona Institute for Global Health led a study published to the International Journal of Behavioral Nutrition and Physical Activity, stating there are 2 specific habits that are associated with a lower body mass index in the long term: keeping a longer overnight fast and eating breakfast early, not cutting breakfast out completely. When you spread out the food you eat, your body processes it a lot better and absorbs what it needs rather than just turning it into fat. This is why there are 3 meals a day and not 1 or 2. If you don't know what to eat in the mornings that would be good for you, that's okay. Investigating some new recipes and stocking your cupboards with some different types of foods is a great way of experiencing and figuring out basically what you like. Starting with a smaller portion breakfast is another great way to warm up into eating in the mornings. Of course, in case you were wondering what breakfast should look like, Better Health lists the following examples: quick oats with your own fruit added in, whole grain cereals with milk, natural yogurt, fresh fruits and raw nuts, wholemeal, whole grain, or sourdough toast, English muffins with some kind of veggie or fruit spread, or smoothies made from fruits or veggies. All of these breakfast options contain some kind of nutrients mentioned earlier in the 5 main food groups. If you don't have time to make breakfast in the mornings because of a rush schedule, that's also very understandable. However, with just a few tweaks to your schedule, you can make time to eat breakfast. Whatever your reason for being time poor is, there are still ways you can fit in breakfast. You can prepare breakfast the night before, keep food at school or work if allowed, wake up 10 to 15 minutes earlier to make it, and get rid of unnecessary events in the morning that could create some time to make food. All right, so let's go over what we've learned today. First, we learned what a healthy breakfast entails and how this helps boost brain function. We then covered the risks that come with skipping breakfast, such as ADHD, MDD, cognitive performance issues, frailty, and even gallstones. I bet a lot of you weren't expecting that. The next thing I spoke on was appetite and how gaining weight through breakfast is a myth, but how improper spacing between meals is the real criminal. Next up, we talked about how to fit breakfast into any kind of schedule with proper time usage. Finally, we broke down what a good nutrition-filled breakfast should look like. This information is vital for your health. The next step is putting it into action. This is very important. Thank you all for listening.